Located on the southern coast of the Kingdom of Fife sits a wonderful links so natural and tucked away you might miss it. But as a site for open qualifying when the championship is held 30 minutes away in St. Andrews, it's not a course you want to miss. Originally a 9-hole routing when the club was founded in 1868, the newer 9 was built over 100 years ago by 5-time Open champion James Braid. Today, it's a stunning seaside links that weaves through the land to the top of the world and back again. Welcome to Lundin Golf Club.
We are out here at Lundin Links, kind of on the southern coast of Fife, and we're playing a little quota match today. I'm a course 15, so I need 21 points to meet quota. Let's go get it done.
The quota game I'm playing is a kind of modified Stableford, where I earn points based on how I do on each hole. A birdie's worth 4, par's worth 2, bogey's worth 1, and anything double or worse is worth 0. The quota is normally 36, but I subtract my course handicap of 15, meaning I need to amass 21 points this round. The first hole is a 403-yard par 4. I took driver, and you're up on a ledge overlooking the ocean for the first couple holes, but you hit down into a flat area where most of the course is. I had a really good drive, and it ran out for a while, so I only had about 140 in. I took a 7-iron, and it's completely blind as you play back up onto that ridge to a pretty big green. I hit a good shot to the back, and I gave myself a putt at birdie. It was going downhill pretty fast, so unfortunately I hit it about 4 or 5 feet by, and I left myself with a little bit more for par than I wanted, but it'd be really nice to get this to go in, get some points on the board. I knock it in for a nice par and 2 points, on pace for 36. Hey, maybe I don't need to use the handicap at all. Hole 2 is a 339-yard par 4. Tee shot's pretty similar to one where you're hitting up off that ridge right on the ocean down to a flatter area. I hit a really good one, and I end up in the fairway. It gives me about an 8-iron into the green, and you can see here that there's just these little ridges in the fairway, and that's what's great about good links courses is they use the shape of the land to disguise the hole, make the approach a little blind. I was still able to hit a pretty good one, and it left me on the back left of the green with a very long birdie putt. I lined it up, and I had it breaking about 5 feet left. It ended up not breaking very much at all, and this left me with another testy putt for par. Unfortunately, I didn't read this one right, and I tap in for my bogey. That's another point on the board. We've got 3 points through 2, and we're off to a good start. Hole 3, a 312-yard par 4. It's pretty open off the tee. You're hitting downhill, so it's kind of bombs away. I hit a really good one, and it gave me kind of a flip wedge into the green, and I felt like this was a good opportunity to go attack. Left with about 45 yards. I hit a nice soft one, it gets up there, and I'm going to have a birdie putt. This angle isn't great, but this thing breaks pretty considerably to the left. I bury it, and that's a birdie, 4 points, absolutely massive on the scorecard. We're up to 7 through 3.
Sorry about the wind, but just got off the third hole. So far, the course is absolutely amazing. This is everything that links courses should be. And yeah, I started par, bogey, birdie, so I'm even, and I think that's 7 points. So we're a third of the way to the quota. Let's see if we can do it.
If you've ever played high handicap golf like me, you know that after a birdie, you could be due for a letdown, and a 415-yard par 4 is the perfect opportunity to do just that. I lose my drive right, and it goes into the rough. I find it, and I have 185 yards in, and I hit what I think is a great shot. I can see the green, and it looks like I bounced just short of it. The problem is, this hole plays tricks with you. Just short of the green is this massive dip with a burn in it, and that's where my ball goes. So I end up having to drop 3, and I'm hitting 4 up over this hill, needing to get up and down for a bogey to salvage a point. I hit a pretty decent chip, but I leave myself about a 50-footer. I line it up, and realistically, I'm not going to make this. So this is my first double plus. I get 0 points on the card, but I'm still doing pretty well. Hole 5 is the first par 3 on the course, a fun little wedge. I just need to throw something up in the air. There's a little bit of a crosswind, and I'm trying to give myself a putt at it. What's cool about Lundin is the wall that's to my left actually separates it from Lundin Golf Club. They used to share the same links until the wall was built a while ago, and now the clubs operate next to each other. I actually hit the green, but I gave myself a super long putt. I try and just whack something up there, and it hangs out a little bit to the right, unfortunately. Now I need to make another 6-footer for par. I line it up, put a good roll on it. It just doesn't break as much as I thought. Tap in for a bogey, get another point. Hole 6 is a 325-yard par 4. The tee shot's completely blind, which is why you have that staircase. Also, on a couple of these holes, we're hitting off mats, so I just drop a ball and decide to hit mini driver. I can lose it as far left as I want because there's another fairway over there, and that's what I end up doing. Kind of tough to see it off the tee. I want to make sure it's okay, but when I get up there, I'm just down in a little bit of a gully. I hit a wedge, and there was a crew working on the green, so you can see me calling out 4 left. Didn't kill anyone, that was good, but I left myself this impossible chip up over a bunker, wind and green running away from you. I throw something up there, actually hit it right where I wanted, but it ran to the front of the green. I have this for par. I knock it up a little close, it's about 3 feet, but I should be able to make that for a bogey and another point. Hole 7 is a devilish little 266-yard par 4. Unless you can carry it all 266 yards, you can't go at the green, which I can only hit about 240, so I aim way left, hoping to give myself a wedge in. I end up hitting a pretty good one. I have a little bit of a weird lie, and then the wind is going straight to my right. So I hit a wedge directly at the pin, but it misses the green right and rolls down to that water. I hit a chip shot up onto the green, giving myself another good look at par. I line it up, hit a great putt, it just doesn't break, tap in for another bogey. Stress-free, it's another point on the card. Hole 8's a 355-yard par 4. It's pretty straight away. I actually crush my drive. There's some bunkers on the left, but the fairway's pretty wide, so I have room. Just kind of watch it, make sure it doesn't get there. It stops to the right of them, giving me a long iron in. I hit a great one, but with the wind coming kind of back at me now, it comes up a little bit short. You can see there's another one of these burns that runs just short of the green, so you really got to be precise with your irons. I'm a little short of the green, but I decided to take putter because the chipping has been tough with these greens. I putt something up there, leaving myself about 12 to 15 feet for a par. Again, I like my putt. It ends up just short, right in the heart, but I tap in for another point on the card. Hole 9's the first par 5, 546 yards, but the wind's behind me. We're hitting off mats again, so I take mini driver. And if you're thinking, Will, was that building in your mind? Yeah, it was. But I hit a pretty good drive, nice smooth swing. It goes down the fairway, and I can go hit it again.
All right, I'm in the 9th fairway. I've lost track of how many points I'm at, but you guys know. I think I'm on pace, maybe a little ahead of pace, so playing well. I do not know where the pin is on this one, so we're going to hit another mini driver and find out.
I've gone along the second, and there's a bunch of mounds just short of the green, but there's no way to avoid them, so I absolutely smash this. It's a really good shot, and it's going to leave me a little 54-degree in. I make good contact, and for a long time I'm watching it. It ends up bouncing right next to the pin and kind of rolling to the back of the green. But for the first time in a while, I've got a birdie putt. I hit what I think is pretty much a great putt. It just doesn't quite get there. Maybe the wind held it up. But this is another 2 points on the card to end the front 9. Little halftime update for those of you at home. I got 13 quota points on the front 9. That leaves me on pace for 26, and that would be well above the 21 I need. All right, hole 10, it's a 348-yard par 4. Starting off the back 9 right, I pipe a drive right down the middle. Kind of get after that one. And watching it because it's bouncing quite a bit downwind. And it leaves me a short little wedge in. Unfortunately, I hit it a little bit thick, and I end up coming up short in the front bunker. From there, it's pretty much just get it out. The green's pretty big. I'm about 10 yards short. I splash it out pretty nice, and I give myself a putt at par. Wasn't as close as I'd like, but it's relatively flat, and I hit a decent putt. Just kind of hangs out to the right there, but I should be able to tap this in for a bogey and a point on the back 9. Hole 11, it's a 447-yard par 4, and as you can tell, it's straight into the wind. This hole was brutal. I hit a drive about as good as I could, but it left me with a 3-wood in. I did not hit that as good as I could. Absolutely topped it. It's going to leave me another 3-wood. I absolutely step on this one. It was from about 190 into a 3-club wind. It comes up just short, and I hit putter up onto the green, which gives me a putt at bogey and hopefully another point on the card, but it's a tough one. I line it up, hit a great putt, and I thought it was in, but it stops just short. That's another double plus, no points. Hole 12 is the signature par 3. It goes up the hill onto the ridge. It's playing straight into the wind. Beautiful hole, but you can't miss it left because there's woods and stuff there. You can't miss it right because it goes straight down the hill. It's playing 140 yards, but with the wind in the hill, more like 180. So I take a 5-iron, and I hit it pretty well, but it balloons up into the wind, catches the top of that hill, and rolls all the way down, leaving me a really difficult chip shot. I kind of hack it out of some rough, can't even see the green, and I end up going a little bit long, get a terrible lie, and have to just mash a putter out onto the green. Careful not to go long. This gives me a bogey putt to avoid 2 straight zeros. Again, I hit a pretty good putt, and it just misses. I'm starting to leak a little bit of oil. Hole 13 is this beautiful 490-yard par 5 up on top of the hill. You can see the entire course in the ocean. I drive it downwind onto the right side of the fairway. Great shot, but there's some tree trouble, and so I take hybrid trying to bend it around, but I hit it perfectly straight. Kind of through a clump of trees, but I'm giving myself a chip to get on in regulation. I actually hit a great chip here trying to land it on the front. It just lands dead on the fringe and should have rolled out, but it doesn't, so I have about a 45-footer. I try and nestle something up close and don't do a great job of it. I have a putt for par, and that just misses, and so I tap it in for a bogey, 1 point. I only have 2 points through 4 holes. Something's got to change here. A massive 2 points, and now I only need 4 points with 4 holes left. The problem is, they're the toughest 4 holes on the course, straight into the wind. Starting with number 15, which is a 417-yard par 4. I take driver, and I keep it low, unintentionally, under the wind, and this is going to give me a second from a long way back in the fairway. I take 3-wood, and I swing out of my shoes, and I end up hooking it towards the out of bounds. I'm watching it because it's right along the edge.
So I am inbounds but dead. Fortunately, that is ground under repair, so I'm going to get a free drop.
A very lucky break there, but it leaves me a short iron in, straight into the wind. I hit a pretty good shot, and it comes up just short of the green, but I'll be able to 2-putt for the first point I need on these final 4 holes. Unfortunately, I give it a little bit too much of a run, and it leaves me a really kind of tickly 5-footer to get that point. Kind of take my time lining it up. Downwind, downhill, bang. That's point number 1. 3 to go. Hole 16 is only a 280-yard par 4. It is into the wind and there's water across the fairway, so you have to be careful, but this is where I need to make my hay. If I'm being honest, this was kind of a scummy drive. I hooked a little bit left. It bounces over the water and into the rough on this hill.
This has got to be what they mean by burrowing animal relief.
This leaves me with about 60 yards, but it's a completely blind shot, so I walk up the hill, try and figure out a starting line, but of course there's no trees on a links course, so I just kind of have to feel it. Step up, hit my shot,
It starts on a pretty good line. Let's go up and see if it's good. Oh, it's good. And just like that, I've met the quota with 2 holes to go. Absolute success. Still, I want to put up a pretty decent score on these last 2 holes. They're extremely hard, straight into the wind. And it's a little bit more difficult when you lose some motivation. I lose this drive way right. Hit an iron out of the rough. You can't tell from these last 2 shots, but they're incredibly hilly lies. But I get it onto the green with a putt at par. Knock it up relatively close. And I can go tap in for another point. Hole 18, 427 yards straight in the wind, and it plays uphill. This one's an absolute beast. Again, hitting into the wind, anything offline gets blown way right. I'm hundreds of yards out when I get up to it, and there was this nice little young couple in their golf cart. God, they were in the danger zone there, but I actually hit a pretty good hybrid with the pressure on. Ends up in a pretty good spot. I putt up for my 4th, giving myself an outside look at bogey to put one last point on the card. It's about 10 feet. I hit it, and unfortunately, I finished with a double plus, but I met the quota. Absolutely amazing round. Shout out to Lundin Golf Club. It was amazing. Has the best putting green on earth looking over the ocean. It was my first time playing the quota game, and I got 23 points when I needed 21. That was awesome. A score of 87, which I'll take. And I'll tell you right now, if you ever end up in St. Andrews, make the trek down to London and go play the course. It's phenomenal. We'll see you next time.